Hey guys, welcome back to War Room. Today's episode's gonna be real quick, real simple, and if you don't do this already, seriously, this is just pretty simple, kind of basic, you should have thought of this. But surprisingly, most people at events that I've been to haven't. And that's snacks. Who doesn't love some snackage? Come on, y'all. Seriously, just throw, before you leave for an event, couple of protein bars or something that you can snack on that's going to keep in like a bag in your, in your Nerf gear. This isn't rocket science, and this isn't anything that's like, oh my gosh, you need to do this as a super crazy Nerf tip. But like, honestly, guys, I don't know what it is, but I see so many people like, oh, when are we going to break for food? Like, well, we don't at our games, so have a snack while we're in between stuff, or pulling tickets for raffles, or explaining things. Just having snacks, so a little bit of food, a little bit of water. Obviously nothing too heavy because you're going to potentially be running around doing stuff. And, we used to do events that are, 8 hours or more sometimes. If you're doing overnight HVZ, I mean, it seems really obvious, but for some reason I keep seeing people show up and be like, oh man, I'm so starving. When are we going to break for lunch? We're like, dude, there's no break for lunch. Sorry, we just play all day. One thing that you might want to do is if you run an event is bring snacks and or drinks. Consider maybe selling them, or, so that can go back to funding you guys. If you have a dart pool or something like that. We did that for quite a few years where we just bought a bunch of like chips and, that sort of snacks and stuff basically at Costco, and some waters and maybe, flats of Gatorade and stuff like that for relatively cheap. And we're like, yeah, like $1. Here you go if you didn't bring snacks. So it's something to consider maybe if you run an event and you're worried about that, especially if it's someplace that's hot and you're worried about people overheating, and there's not, like we are lucky enough to be playing at a school, so there are some water fountains, but if, stuff like that isn't available, definitely consider maybe bringing some. Like I said, the maybe any proceeds, like we calculated it out, and we were making a little bit per bottle, so that, all went into buying darts for the dart pool that people could rent into. Or maybe consider what we also did was say like, hey, yeah, if you do buy something, we're also going to give you a raffle ticket, so that, if you have a raffle at the end of the day like we did, you could win something. But yeah, that's it, guys. It's simple. It seems like it should be common sense, but hey, maybe it's not. Maybe you never really thought about it, but, see what the event is like and where it's going to go and how long it takes to get there. I mean, just consider it. There's not always a McDonald's around the corner to grab something to eat at if you need to. So that's it, guys. I know it's kind of a weird one today. It doesn't really fit into our normal categories, but just a quick tip. Like I said, obvious, apparently not. That's it, everybody. Stay safe, have fun, happy tagging.
We just had Stan Lee from Stanley Collectibles here himself, because we partnered with Stanley Collectibles.
That's awesome.
That right there says Spider-Man.